Uh, Good evening and welcome to the Jefferson County Commission meeting. It's Thursday, May 16th, 2024 at 6 p.m. We could have a quick moment of silence and then we'll do the pledge. It's not on my list.
You all voted on prayer.
Is there?
Right, but
Oh, you are. Oh, come on. You're not on my agenda. Sorry. Come on up, sir. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Father, thank you that you are good, that you are holy, that you are real, thank you that for creating us. Father, we can confess that we're sinful. Pray for our country that we would turn back to you, turn back to your ways, turn back to your word. Father, we do thank you for the privileges that we have as Americans. Even last Tuesday, a big representation of that. We get to cast our ballot. Father, we pray that you would work through leaders, local, state, and national, that they would honor you, that they would make decisions based upon your word, for which they will answer to you one day. And Father, I'm most thankful for your Son, Jesus Christ. And I pray that each person in here would have a personal relationship with your Son. He died for them, rose again, to give them salvation. Thank you for that gift. Father, would you be glorified in this service? In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.
You could remain standing for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could remain standing for the West Virginia pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of West Virginia, which serves as a constant reminder that our years are always free, which stands as a symbol of her majestic mountains, fertile forests, rich veins of coal, and the pride of her people.
Hey, approval of minutes, May 2nd, 2024. Are there any objections? All right, hearing none, they are approved as presented. Approval of requisitions, May 16th, 2024, an amount of $29,684.47. Are there any objections? They are approved. For approval of accounts payable, if there are no objections, for May 9th, 2024, an amount of $249,127.63. If there are no objections, they are approved. For accounts payable for May 16th, 2024, an amount of $136,522.72. If there are no objections, they are approved. For approval of manual checks, May 10th, 2024, an amount of $160,542.02. If there's no objections, they're approved. For manual checks on May 17th, 2024, an amount of $12,887.31. If there are no objections, they are approved. For approval of payroll, May 10th, 2024, $318,686.05. If there are no objections, they are approved. I don't believe we have any announcements. We're going to move to public comment. Can you get the sign-up sheet for me, Sharada? All right, thank you. All right, we'll call your name. You can come forward. You'll have 3 minutes. So start off with Dave Tabb.
David Tabb, lifelong Jefferson County resident, taxpayer for a long time. So if nobody took notice, I was sitting down to the West Virginia flag prayer because there's words in there that I have a court order against me that I can't say. That's pretty sad, isn't it? But I still won my seat to be on the ballot for November. I think it actually helped. And I got a higher percentage of the voters for my political party that I'm registered than what anybody else did. That's amazing. So with that said, I had some requests. They go, Mr. Tab, can't you say anything nice about the county commission? I kind of put my head down. And then I picked up my computer and did like Stolliver does while we're in county commission meetings. Look at his computer. Because that's more important. It's pretty sad. So I really don't have anything good to say about this county commission other than some of these same people won't be here next year. Yeah. And it may be of their own choice. But at the same time, they're leaving a mess here that they should clean up, or at least try to. Do I have your attention yet, Mr. Stoller? Thank you. That's amazing. That's the nicest thing you've said to me in 2 years. So, yeah. See, I can make fun with things. I can be happy. I'm not mad at anybody. Not really. I'm sad for what the public has had to put up with and what their future is going to be. Their view vista is done. There is a law against that. But of course, this commission violated everything in it because that's what they do. They violate laws. So all I can say is for the ones that are up there right now supposed to be representing the commission, you still have time to make a change. And as what was just said a few minutes ago, it's going to take a lot more than prayer to do that. It's going to take action. So I ask you as a taxpayer to take action and bring back our View Vista and help out with emergency services. Y'all have a nice day.
Next, we have Jackie Miller.
On April 4th, 2024, the West Virginia Ethics Commission issued an advisory opinion regarding relative Open Meetings Act requirements of certain committees generally composed of 3 planning commissioners of the Jefferson County Planning Commission. The ruling specified that these committees make recommendations to the Planning Commission staff or consultants on policy or administration, such as the contents of ordinance or budget, and the staff or consultants make recommendations to the Planning Commission on these same matters, then a quorum of those committee members may not meet with the Planning Commission staff or consultants outside of the properly noticed public meeting. On October 10th, 2023, the Planning Commission received a recommendation of policy practice change from a hired consultant, which was derived from such committee meetings. The consultant states, quote, "My recommendation is that the ordinances be followed as written for the waiver process. This recommendation changed historical practice of providing public hearings for waivers." On February 11th, 2020, at Mr. Solifer's suggestion, the Planning Commission created the Solar Facilities Committee to, quote, "work on drafting a text amendment to allow solar facilities processed as an essential utility and not as a conditional use, and create provisions to address some of the Planning Commission's concerns, and work with the consultants and draft text amendments." Since the committee meetings were not published in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, does this concern any public official? If so, does this commission propose to do any remedy to the issue that might arise from potential violations of the Open Meetings Act? The Planning Commission does not provide public comment periods to share information verbally, face-to-face among peers for these types of concerns. If the JCC decides that it isn't their purview, then whose purview is it when citizens have been wronged? I am requesting all documents generated from these private meetings held by the committees of the Planning Commission. It is concerning that the JCC sought an opinion on filling the vacated seats of 2 magisterial districts in Jefferson through the executive branch of the state government instead of seeking the judicial branch court opinion. It is especially concerning that this commission sought the opinion of an elected public official in the executive branch who was also testified as a key witness for the Jefferson County prosecutor in the removal process of 2 duly elected commissioners. This is the same witness who wrote an email telling the Jefferson County Public Executive Committee to get a court opinion about procedural nominee strike process in code, then later mandated that the seat be filled. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Denise Dick.
Hi, so firstly, I just want to address Commissioner Stolifer's behavior. I mean, I don't know how Jane and Pasha can support his behavior, the way he acts outside of this little governing body here, outside the camera. He's got very unprofessional behavior, and I'll just save that for later. Might surprise you. Anyway, Jennifer couldn't be here, so I'm going to read. This is Ecclesiastes 5:8-10. If you see the extortion of the poor or the perversion of justice and fairness in the government, do not be astonished by the matter, for the high official is watched by a higher official, and there are higher ones over them. The produce of the land is seized by all of them. Even the king is served by the fields. The one who loves money will never be satisfied with money. He who loves wealth will never be satisfied with his income. This also is futile. Thank you.
Next, we have Christy Static.
The public is requesting an independent audit of the Jefferson County financial software system. This should include all active and previous personnel that have had access to our financial software. How can the public be sure our financial software is secure from an insider threat? Additionally, please publicly disclose the agreed upon salary and classification position prior to and post hiring of the current county administrator. Is it also possible for you to explain to the public how Ms. Benitez is able to do both full-time jobs completely, or is the JCDA job going to be filled with someone else now that she has accepted the role as county administrator? These are 2 very demanding and essential roles in our county government. Additionally, the West Virginia Ethics Commission has conveniently issued an open meetings checklist, which I have provided a copy submitted into public record. Item 7A on the May 16th, 2024 JCC agenda is very vague. What is this item specifically referencing? This item has been on the agenda since May 18th of 2023. My guess is that it is something important and maybe very big since it has been on the agenda for so long. Shouldn't your constituents know what's going on? I am not requesting, but demanding immediate relief from this lack of transparency. The Ethics Commission specifically states in the Open Meetings Act on their website, quote, "The agenda item must be descriptive enough to put the public on notice of the nature of the matter being discussed, regardless of whether it will be discussed in an open session or executive session. For example, an agenda item to discuss pending litigation may read, discuss pending lawsuit of Smith v. Jones with legal counsel. Once again, generic agenda items such as discuss pending litigation are too vague to adequately put the public on notice as to the matter to be discussed." End quote. This is directly from the Open Meetings Act, and since our staff has been trained, we should all be following this act closely. According to this excerpt from the Open Meetings Act, item 7A isn't compliant because it is too vague. Additionally, I am providing you with a copy of the Open Meetings Act criteria and West Virginia Code for executive sessions. And I am also submitting the Open Meetings Act policy regarding meeting minutes. We really need to be following the Open Meetings Act more closely in this county so that this governing body can earn back the public's trust. I have copies here. I have additional copies if anybody wants one. These are on their website. I mean, this is what we need to be doing. This is what the public wants. This is transparency. And this is what it looks like. And I don't know what the training was, but this is what I read as I go on the website. So I'd like to see us doing it. And I think that's a reasonable request.
Mark? Can you say your last name for me, sir? There you go. Thank you.
I'm here, my public comments is about asking you all to put 2 items on the agenda. One is about rescinding this prayer policy. Keeping in mind, their government's supposed to be separate from religion. Okay, keep government out of religion, keep religion out of government. The second thing I'd like you all to put on the agenda is a resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and passing it. There are far too many innocent civilians, men, women, and children getting killed, wounded, and suffering in all kinds of unimaginable ways. It is about having empathy for our fellow beings and helping to do what you can, even if it's symbolic, to change what should never be acceptable. It isn't about blame, but about stopping what too many keep doing. We need a change so that there can be different results, not more of the same. Let me repeat that. It's about stopping what too many keep doing. We need a change so that there can be different results instead of expecting the same ones all the time. We need a change, not more of the same. So please adopt this resolution. Shame on you if you don't. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody online, Strata?
It's Christine Marshall.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. After reading the West Virginia Ethics Guidance on executive sessions, I believe the description for executive session item 7A is insufficient. Yours agenda reads, consider matters involving or affecting the construction, planning, and purchase, sale, or lease of property. The West Virginia Ethics Guidance document asks, what are the requirements for describing or listing an item on an agenda that may be discussed in executive session? The answer is, the agenda item must be descriptive enough to reasonably place the public on notice of the particular item that is being discussed or voted upon. Discussions relating to that item may occur outside the presence of the public in executive session, but the agenda item must still describe with specificity the topic being discussed. Then examples are given. I think the Ethics Commission guidance is clear. Please make your agenda items more descriptive. If in doubt, please seek an Ethics Commission open meetings advisory opinion on executive sessions. And again, they have just recently put on their website guidance for listing items on executive session on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. No one else? Okay, thank you. Moving on then. We'll move to agenda item number 1, Angie Banks. Rhonda?
Yeah. Angie has an exoneration.
All right.
It's in the 2023 real property book in Cabletown District in the amount of $1,206.55. The ticket number is 18249 for Morgan Jennings, and it was erroneously assessed in class 3. It should have been in 2.
Okay. I'll move to approve ticket number 18249.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Also, we have 2 promotions. The first is for Sherry Vest. Effective date would be May 20th, 2024. She would be going from clerk to senior clerk and moving her hourly rate from $18.68 per hour to $19.53 per hour.
All right, I'll move to approve I'm sure that all this is budget neutral.
Absolutely. yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Move to approve the promotion of Sherry Best from clerk to senior clerk at an hourly rate of $19.53 an hour.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the second is Mark Thompson, also effective May 20th, 2024. He will be moving from appraiser to senior appraiser, an hourly wage from $23.87 to $26.28.
I'll move to approve the promotion of Mark Thompson from appraiser to senior appraiser at an hourly rate of $26.23.
Just to add on, effective May 20th, 24. I'll second that motion.
I'll say, sorry, it was
May I interrupt?
26.23, sorry.
$26.28.
Yeah, there you go. This was, and effective date was,
May 20th, 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
We get all our numbers right here.
yes, we'll add that to, we have a second.
I seconded it with that
With the add-
addition,
okay, sorry, I didn't hear you.
effective date.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, next we have Tom Hanson. Sheriff.
In our budget requests in the past several years, we've asked for additional full-time bailiffs. Historically, the courts and courtrooms and facilities have been secured by using primarily part-time retired people. Just within the past year, we've had a struggle to meet staffing requirements using this method. Again, there are these part-time hirees or bailiffs are retired people. They can say no, they don't want to work today and take the day off at a whim and travel and go where they want to go. So are beginning to experience medical issues that are taking them out for long periods of time. They are beginning to leave to be truly retired, and the biggest issue is that because they are part-time, they restricted the number of hours they are allowed to work. With the addition of the new magistrate and full-time circuit court judge in this election cycle, I am in a desperate need for more full-time bailiffs to have a guaranteed coverage and less reliance on part-time employees. To complicate matters, I recently had to dismiss a full-time bailiff trip guard for failure to pass firearms qualification. So I have lost one of my full-time bailiffs and my on-call trip guard. I do not have any part-time bailiffs who wish to fulfill the role of trip guard. Therefore, I would like to promote a part-time bailiff to the vacant full-time position to address the immediate needs of the court coverage while removing the concerns of time constraints and create a new full-time bailiff. And I'd like to create a new full-time bailiff trip guard position. The successful candidate would have to be willing to fill the on-call trip guard position we recently created to be considered for this position. This new position would be a 40-hour position paid at the rate of $17 an hour, equals $35,360 annually without taxes and benefits. While I would like to receive complete county funding for this new position, in speaking with the budget director, it is believed that we could fund the position from our part-time bailiff line item. With the understanding that we do not know the impact that the fourth magistrate and the second full-time circuit judge will have on the budget. So there may be need to provide additional funding for the part-time bailiffs once that is realized. If the creation of this position is approved, I'd like to promote Romelda Porter from part-time to the vacant 40-hour bailiff position at the same rate effective 20 May. And we've never been able to function clearly without full-time employees. I'm therefore also requesting to hire Joseph Vacchio as a part-time bailiff at the rate of $17 an hour beginning June 3rd, 2024.
Okay, let's take one of those at a time. So the part-time is who? Tell me again.
Part-time, if the part-time, the new part-time person is Joseph Vaccio, part-time bailiff, rate of $17 an hour beginning June 3rd.
Okay.
Before you make a motion, could we have our budget director kind of tell us how this money can possibly be worked out?
I would hope.
Yeah, me too.
Hi there.
Okay, but we've spoken about this. Sheriff Hansen did request 2 full-time bailiffs during the budget process, and that request was denied. In speaking with his
Executive
assistant today and yesterday, we have found that, excuse me, it's obvious he needs the additional help. We have 2 new judges coming on board, and we know from being payroll, he does have a crisis with part-time bailiffs not wanting to go out and all of that. We have found that right now we're looking at about a $94,000 surplus in our part-time bailiff line item for FY24 this year. And if you look at the fiscal note I gave you, the back page,
Yeah.
it's gauged out. And then we would also do a budget transfer for FY25 to move the monies over to cover that new full-time bailiff position that he's requesting.
Okay.
That's your decision, but I do think it's needed. And we have found money within his budget with the understanding the impact of the 2 new judges coming in. We may know
No idea.
near the end of the year of FY25, we may have to come back and ask for additional funding to cover
Yeah.
the salaries.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Those are all items we have no idea what's going to happen with the new judiciary that we have.
Right.
All right. Do we need to do a budget revision first, or you'll do that internally?
No, I think we just we can revise our budget itself, but I just need permission to advertise for a full-time bailiff trip guard.
Gotcha. Okay.
You'll just, if you so wish and you approve it, and then I'll create the budget revision to take care of FY25, because that it's all an internal. It will not be a state budget revision. It's an internal because everything's already within 700.
Okay.
It's all within my budget, just moving from one item to another.
I move to approve the creation of a new full-time 40-hour bailiff / trip guard position at a rate, paid at a rate of $17 per hour.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. All right.
Should we fill the position suggested here?
You want the part-time
Yes. Yeah, we need to hit those 2.
Joseph Vecchio,
And
and
Romelda.
full part-time bailiff, $17 an hour beginning June 3rd.
Right, and also you wanted to you want to transfer Ms. Porter, is that right?
Yes, and I'm sorry, yes, and
I move-
promoting Romelda Porter from a part-time position to a 40-hour full-time position.
I move to approve the transfer of Romelda Porter to the vacant full-time 40-hour bailiff position. And I further move to approve the hire of Joseph Bacchio as a part-time bailiff beginning June 3rd at a rate of $17 per hour.
Second.
Do I have the date right, June 3rd?
Romelda will be May 20th.
May 20th.
I did not state that, so.
Okay, we'll add that. We can add that in the motion for the start date. All right, and I'll second that. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just a quick comment. Sheriff Hansen, thank you for solving this problem within your budget. It's always a challenge and it's much appreciated.
Absolutely.
We don't know if it's totally solved, but
Right.
we're getting there. Yeah. Right. All right, good.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vecchio also, was that?
Yeah, he did it all in one.
Okay, all in one. Thank you very much. Yeah, sure. Have a good evening.
All right.
I want to announce that Jefferson Sheriff's Association Sheriff Britt died unexpectedly. The sheriff of
Preston.
Preston
It was
County.
Preston, I think.
I'm sorry, today, or the other day, so, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry to hear
Thank
that.
you.
It's terrible.
All right, we're gonna move the agenda around a little bit. I'm gonna bring up Bessie. She has another appointment she has to get to. So Bessie, if you could come forward, we're gonna jump to agenda item number 6, then we'll move back to 3.
Thank you. I just am presenting to you the budget revisions, the internal budget revisions in the packet as presented, and the state budget revision. And if you have any questions regarding those.
I don't have anything.
What's new here? Could you summarize for us?
This is part of the FY24 cleanup,
Yeah.
moving things around, and we are still I'll have more for you at the next meeting. So we're still cleaning it up. We are very close to having everything match up with what the state has. And right now, when we get to the end of the year, the different department heads will go and enter their own internal budget revisions to make a few adjustments, postage to printing, that type of thing.
We should expect a presentation at the next meeting.
Do you want a presentation?
I'm asking you, when do you think it will be ready, that information you just described?
They're just budget revisions. I'm not,
Just whenever I guess when, okay. That's fine. All right,
the budget revisions are in there, and the names of the accounts are in there and what accounts it affects.
Thank you.
all right. Sounds good. I'll move to approve the 10 internal budget revisions and 1 state budget revision as presented for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. All right, now we're going to move back to agenda item number 3. Thank you, man. You sign it. All right.
And I'd like to thank Ms. Nelson for all her hard work on our budget and our documents and getting everything straightened out.
Thank you. We're sticking together. Exactly. Anything on here? All right. That's a different. Thank you, man.
That sounds like
All right. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. All right, we're going to move back to agenda item number 3, interviews and appointments. And looks like first up is Historic Landmarks Commission. Oh, the candidate withdrew, okay. And how about Property Safety Enforcement Board? Do we have? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, sure. Come on. I'm still scrolling to get your resume here, sorry.
Sharon Wilt. I don't think she's here.
Okay. All right, sir, can you tell us why you would like to be on the Property Safety Enforcement Agency Board?
It was requested by the county administrator to fill a vacant position on the Property Safety Committee. The fire chiefs had 1 seat on there, and I was the only one that was had the willingness and the time to be able to do that.
Okay, so they twisted your arm and you're here.
Pretty
Sounds good to me. Well, thank you for stepping up.
Yeah.
You may have anything.
No questions. Thank you for volunteering.
So we have to have a chief on the board. That's one of the requirements.
That's correct, yes.
All right. All right. Well, any other questions?
No.
All right, we're good. Okay.
Thank you.
Painless, I guess. All right. And then I guess we have, you say Sharon Wilt?
Sharon Wilt, yes, that she wanted to, I think she has a seat now. She wanted to reapply. So she's someone to consider.
We'll see if she's online.
I doubt it.
Okay. No. All right. Well, what's the pleasure of the groups?
I'll move to appoint Mike Mood to the Property Safety Enforcement Agency Board for a 2-year term as fire chief representative.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Do you want to?
I can do the same thing I move to appoint Cheryl Wilt as on the Property Safety Enforcement Agency Board for a 2-year term for the citizen representative.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to agenda item number 4, Roger Goodwin.
Okay, the first item I have is request for approval to advertise for the building plans reviewer inspector position. This is a position that I understand was funded in the FY25 budget. And we just want to get out ahead of it because it'll take us probably 3 months to get through all the steps to get somebody on board. So we want approval to go ahead and run the ad for that position.
I move to approve advertising for the position of the building plans reviewer / inspector in the Department of Engineer, Planning and Zoning.
Second, any discussion?
Yes, yeah. We talked about this during budget session. I'm glad we added this position. This is great work and good foresight to start advertising now so we can hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I was going to say the same thing, but thank you for that
Yeah.
comment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
And I just want to point out one thing on that issue of hiring another inspector plan reviewer. Based on impact fees, which are paid on dwellings across the county, and we discussed this back in February, the pace that we were on in 2024 versus calendar year 2023. Calendar year 2023, there were 767 new dwellings in Jefferson County based on impact fees that were paid. We're on pace now, as of May 15th, that we're on a pace of 1,239 for calendar year 2024, which we had said 1,200 back in February. So that pace has held steady all the way through 4.5 months. So that's just a point I want to make. We have a heavy workload and we're behind on plan reviews, and we're trying to do everything we can to become efficient and get the resources we need. So that's all I had to say on that.
Can you tell me, has your, I think you have the online platform now to do your building permit or your request? How's that working?
There are some quirks being worked out by the consultant that provides that platform. We're working on it. We do have several builders that are using it to help us work it out and sort out what the issues are and get it working before we release it to the public totally.
Okay.
So they're able to submit their plans digitally, do the plan reviews, and go back and forth with our comments digitally and through emails. And they're able to schedule their inspections digitally and see live what the result is, or if they knew like a footing inspection occurred at 10 in the morning, they can go on at noon and see whether it passed or failed, and if it failed, what the comments were as to why it failed.
Okay.
So we're working on that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's greatly needed, but I'm sure you know that much more than I do. That's face to face.
The next issue is related to Property Safety Enforcement Agency, and I'll just back up on the here for a second on the action you took. Property Safety Enforcement Agency is an ordinance that you have under authority of state code. It's not a clean up, clean up, mow your grass, get rid of your weeds type of ordinance. It was an ordinance that in state code that was passed to give communities, municipalities, counties who did not have a building code and a property maintenance code the ability to deal with dilapidated dwellings and structures that are also abandoned, like the one you'll see sitting out along a highway somewhere that no one's living in. It's half leaning over, ready to fall down. That was the intent of it. And it has a board, and under state law, that board is to consist of the sheriff, who is the professional to issue an opinion related to criminal activity, whether it's turned into a crack house, something like that, and it's a public nuisance. Your municipal or county engineer to look at from the standpoint of the hazards related to the safety of the structure and structurally the structural soundness of it, and whether it could be a public hazard. And then the fire chief to look at it from a fire safety, fire hazard standpoint. And maybe even like we have some that are what would be called heavy loads. They're just, we've had some that just had hoarding packed in them, a lot of stuff. So it's a heavy fire load. And then you have 2 citizen volunteers. And I always say that they would be part of the board to keep the other 3 of us honest. So, so it's created for that reason. It's a somewhat subjective interpretation of whether or not a violation exists. We work with the people, try to get them into compliance. We've had more than 100 cases since the ordinance came in place over 20 years ago. And we try to get everybody to get in compliance, but occasionally we'll get one where they ignore us and they won't do it. We've had some in the past, and that's what we have right now, is one where the sheriff served the person in person several weeks ago. They get 10 days to respond to the county clerk as to whether or not they want to have a hearing. We've had no response from them. So it now goes to me asking you to schedule a date for a hearing where I will present the evidence of the complaint. And attached is the complaint that we drew up that's filed in the clerk's office and was served on the property owner. And then at that hearing, I'll present all the evidence. You'll decide whether or not you think the complaint is valid. And if you roll in our favor, I'll have an order that you'll sign, basically saying the same thing, what they have to do to get in compliance. That once again will get served on the property owner. They'll get a period, maybe 30 days to get in compliance. And if they don't, then the county attorney automatically takes the order over to the circuit court judge, who will issue a circuit court order granting us the right to go in and perform the work to bring it into compliance. You would have to fund that work. In this case, I would guess it could be as little as $1,000. Safe bets figure $3,000. And we would hire a contractor to complete the work. And then once that's all done, the county attorney would place a lien on the property. And if the property's ever sold, that's how you recoup your money. And we've got several cases where that has occurred in the past. So I need to schedule a date for that hearing, and I'm asking for that date to be
July 11th.
July 11th.
What time?
Well, we don't have a time yet, and I would work that out with the county administrator. On that day, I've also got at least one other issue coming in where someone wants to speak to you. And then on that date, under the contract, the impact fee study report is due. And we've already told the consultant to be prepared to present it on that day. And that should probably be like a workshop setting, probably more in the afternoon where you can have a back and forth. So July 11th, and it's going to be a long day.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that was one of my questions. I'm glad to know the impact fee report is coming soon.
And that's just to remind everybody, that's a regular meeting day too, because we moved it back, I think, right?
Correct.
That's what I thought. Okay. Because July 4th falls on a Thursday. Okay. All right. Well, I'll move to set a hearing date for the Property Safety Enforcement Agency case 23-001 Duncan for July 11th, 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we are moving to agenda item number 5, Mike Stein, Director of Emergency Services.
Good evening, Commissioners. Just a couple items tonight. Coming here tonight to inform the public that next week is EMS week. And we'd like to recognize a couple of our employees. I'm going to read a little something here, and then I think we have some certificates for those guys. Good evening, Commissioners. The week of May 19th through May 25th of the year 2024 marks the 50th anniversary of Emergency Medical Services, or EMS Week, in the United States. While EMS Week is a week to celebrate the dedication and excellence of our EMS providers. It's also about recognizing the good they do for our community. Jefferson County Emergency Services Agency currently employs 53 full-time employees and 36 part-time employees. These are some of the finest and most dedicated EMS professionals in the nation. The citizens, visitors, and businesses of Jefferson County benefit from their hard work, dedication, and commitment that these individuals give to our EMS system. It is something that is seen daily, but rarely talked about. We take this time to recognize the accomplishments not only of the ESA employees, but of all members of the Jefferson County EMS system, career and volunteer. While every member of the team deserves recognition, we struggled to narrow it down to just a few individuals for this event. Recently, the ESA presented several awards to its employees. This included stork pins for several field-assisted births, meritorious service awards for going above and beyond, not only on emergencies, but during their everyday work, and a life-saving award for successfully resuscitating an individual who had experienced a sudden cardiac arrest. This individual made a full recovery. Tonight, the Jefferson County Emergency Services Agency is bringing 3 individuals before the commission to recognize them. First, we introduce Technician Dale Gottschalk. Technician Gottschalk, while off duty, was attending a religious event. During this event, he heard screams for help and without pause went toward the screams. Technician Gottschalk found a pediatric patient actively choking and immediately acted to successfully dislodge the obstruction. Had he not been in the right place at the right time and acted without hesitation, the outcome for this patient could have been very different. Technician Gottschalk demonstrated the values and courage of an EMS provider. He further demonstrated that even though he was off duty, he is always ready and willing to serve. It is with great honor that we recognize Technician Dale Gottschalk with this award. Next, we recognize 2 individuals for their commitment and dedication to our community education. Many years ago, the ESA began providing community education courses such as CPR and first aid. While the program has been successful since its inception, no one individual had the ability to dedicate the true amount of time needed to manage the several classes that were hosted annually. In the last couple of years, the ESA has had 2 individuals retire from full-time duty after many years of field service. These employees still wanted to be engaged and provide a service to our communities. They both stepped up and took over the community education program. The names of these individuals are Monty Connor and Dave Swan. In 2023, Monty and Dave instructed and successfully certified a total of 205 community members in CPR and 52 community members in first aid. In 2024, Monty and Dave have expanded their ESA community education program to include child and babysitting safety. The first course, hosted in April, had 14 teenagers in attendance. In addition to this course, Monty and Dave have to date instructed a successfully certified 189 community members in CPR and 61 community members in first aid. Earlier this year, and with little notice, Monty and Dave were able to set up and successfully deliver a CPR course to 383 Washington High School students. What these numbers do not reflect are the CPR and first aid classes that they teach for other county departments, such as the Parks and Rec staff and the Sheriff's Office deputies and reserves. All of these classes are provided free of charge to the community. It is with great honor that we recognize Monty Connor and Dave Swan with this award. Their unwavering dedication given to the community education program does not go unnoticed. Unfortunately, Monty is out of town. So Dave Swan.
I think I had a CPR class with Mr. Swan. We'll get back.
We've got one more.
Yeah.
Two more.
So in closing, commissioners, in recognition of the dedication of not only these three individuals, but all of Jefferson County's EMS providers, I ask that you proclaim next week, May 19th through May 25th, 2024, EMS Week for Jefferson County, West Virginia.
Do you want to read the proclamation?
I can, or you can.
Okay, you go right ahead.
EMS Week proclamation. To designate the week of May 19th through the 25th of 2024 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of the emergency medical services team are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness and injury. And whereas emergency medical services has grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative maintenance, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of the emergency medical services team, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of the emergency medical services providers by designating the Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, you, the Commission of Jefferson County, West Virginia, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 19th through the 25th, 2024, Emergency Medical Services Week. This year, we celebrate the 50th anniversary of EMS Week, and the theme for EMS Week is Honoring Our Past, Forging Our Future. I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Thank you.
I'll move to approve the proclamation as presented by Director Simon.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. And we'll all sign it. Start here and we'll work it down. And then before you guys go, we'll get a picture if you don't mind. I see just up. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we want a group photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to walk up.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, it is bad having the screen.
I'm getting a picture of the back of my head.
Yeah, today we're getting pictures of us taking the picture. That's not good.
You don't want us to do this one?
Yeah, if you do it over where you normally do.
All right.
Back of the corner.
Right, back over here. Yeah.
Let you all know, my granddaughter just became an EMT about a month ago.
A lot of cameras over there.
And then I get one of each, the ones that got recognized with the commission and the captain.
All right, so I guess you go first, huh?
We'll bring it back in.
Okay.
That's just great.
Oh, sit down.
One more. No. Good to hear about Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, bud. All right.
You need this? You want that? I'm not, oh, sure. I don't know if that goes with you or Sharada.
In real life, heroes don't wear capes.
Exactly.
You're right. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to move on to agenda item number 7, Nate Cochran.
Commissioner Stolper, I don't have any new information or anything to present under my article.
Okay, good deal. All right, we'll move on to county administrator reports. I think Eddie's online.
I am. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So first, I want to go over Article 147, which is that article that sets the regulations for CTUB. So I met with John Nissel of Charlestown and Todd Wilt of Ranson, where we've discussed possible changes. The two changes that we had discussed as a commission were designating a non-municipal seat instead of looking at just the former sewer assets of the PSD. And then let's see here. We're looking at 2 possible changes that were brought about by the municipalities. So John Nissel and Todd Wilt are interested in possibly looking at changing how a chair of CTUB is designated right now. It is the city manager of Charlestown. In the past, it had been elected by the board. So I wanted to see from you if there was any desire to have it be elected, or if keeping it, if there was any preference. And then secondly, there was concern going through our CTUB appointment process, nomination process, that someone who worked for one of the municipalities but lived in the county, would they be eligible for both seats? There's a belief that they would, but there's a desire by some within the municipalities to have that spelled out within 147. So I wanted to see from you before going back to them if there was any particular interest in pursuing those options. Okay.
The one change is that you saying the chairman would be appointed or elected?
Correct.
Okay,
From among the directors.
okay.
So the chair would be elected, correct? Not appointed? Is that what you're saying?
Instead of under 147 right now, it is the city manager.
Okay, I see what you mean. All right. It's already designated in 147 and you'd like to change that. Okay, got that.
And what was the other?
I don't have any preference. The second is spelling out clearly that should someone work for a municipality but live within the county, that they would be eligible for either seat.
Okay, can you explain that a little bit? If they, you say if they live in the city?
And if they live in the county, so outside of the municipalities, but work for the cities. So for instance, Ranson can select someone who works for them to sit on the CTUB board as their representative. So if that employee lives in the county, are they under the way that it's written, our council would say that they are eligible for the county seat. they wanted it spelled out since there was some concern during this last go round of selecting nominees, whether they would be eligible or not. Something you don't have to decide on now, you can think about.
Jefferson County don't live in the city of Ranson. You can still represent the city of Ranson because you're an employee of Ranson. But you still maintain the residency requirement within the county.
I really have problems with it being an employee and not a citizen. I think that was the purpose of 147 when it was created. Well, and you're
Okay,
right,
I'll bring that to them.
rate payer. I'm losing my voice now. That's the way I feel. And I also want to know if any of these changes, if there's some sort of agreement on changes, what is the legal process? Does it have to go to the PSC? I mean, that's from my memory.
Yes, so our counsel on this is Will Rohrbar, and I asked him what the next steps were. So once we come to an agreement between Ranson, Charlestown, and the county, then we do our internal documents that get sent to the state for it to be signed off at the state level, and then it comes back here, and then the city of Charlestown will have to update Article 147 because it's actually, when we say Article 147, it's actually part of Charlestown's code.
Okay. And
So something to think about right there. I'll bring this back to the group.
Okay.
I don't really have a strong opinion, but I would just recommend if they choose to move towards an election process, that they delineate exactly what the procedures are and have that put into the Charlestown code, just so it's set, known in advance and the public. But I don't have a strong opinion on it. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it that way, that's how you should proceed. Respect.
Commissioner Stauber, I also spoke to Mr. Rohrbaugh, and he was encouraging you and the city to come to what you believe is the best agreement, and then go to the PSC. And that way, you're going to the PSC for approval of underlying agreement that you have with CTUB in Charlestown in this sign-off thing, if they approve it.
all right, sounds good.
So the next is, as part of my process of trying to encourage recruitment, retain those employees that we have, and then keep those employees who have longevity with the county. I have been working with American Public University and Shepherd University with regard to tuition reduction for county employees. And I'm really excited to have before you MOU for tuition reduction at APU. And I will let you know that it's 20% tuition reduction, which is the largest tuition reduction that they offer to anyone outside of active duty military. And this is a great way to continue to keep employees with us, growing with our county and advancing our county. So I would suggest a motion to approve the MOU that's in the packet.
I move to approve the memorandum of agreement with American Public University as presented.
Second, any discussion?
Yes. I just want to say, I think this is terrific work. I was paying off loans when I was starting off in the workforce, still doing that actually. 20% reduction is not a small chunk. That's a significant bit of assistance. And I think that worthy of praise for APU and also for our county staff for negotiating this. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for your hard work negotiating this MOU with APU. I know this will go a long way with our employees.
Yeah.
All right.
So then up next is a tuition reduction with Shepherd University. They actually.
You got to vote first.
We might have to vote on that.
Sorry about that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. There you go. You can have the floor again.
Okay. So the next is tuition reduction with Shepherd University, and they actually said that they were going to make it an internal policy and needed no MOU. So they sent along that policy, and that's as an attachment there, and it's 20% for undergraduate and 10% for graduate. And I'm really excited about this, especially because both APU and Shepherd University are also working with a Regents program, which is because the state of West Virginia is really trying to encourage students who have some college credit going over the finish line. And so now both APU and Shepherd are meeting with us about working with staff so that they can get credit for what they're learning while working toward a undergraduate degree. And with the Regents bachelor degree at these universities, it only requires being in residence for 24 credits, which you think roughly 2 semesters, and then staff can get across that line. And I just think it's a great option out there. And Regents is not for just staff, that's for everybody, but the tuition is for staff. And Shepherd University is using it as a pilot program and hopes to expand it to its other partners going forward. Next is a grant match letter. We had talked about during the budget process for line, working more closely with Region 9 to apply for federal grants in order to cover some of these large costs that we have. So one of the priorities that we had through fleets and facilities and the IT department was security upgrades for the commission campuses. That comes out to nearly $200,000 for security upgrades, camera upgrades, and that's a huge cost to come out of the county treasury. So we are applying for a Homeland Security grant for that, and that requires a match of $17,278. So instead of pulling from capital outlay for the nearly $200,000, we're looking for under $20,000 as the match if we are awarded that grant. And attached is the letter of support for a match and the fiscal note recommending that it come from capital outlay.
Okay, well, I'll move to approve and send the grant match letter for the 2024 Homeland Security Grant Program, Jefferson County Commission for the county complex security cameras.
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, I mean, perhaps I should say that the match would be coming out of capital outlay.
Oh, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Agreed.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But thank you for.
And then
I just wanted to say, Ms. Benitez, thank you for tapping into the Region 9 resources and finding a grant to fill a need. Thank you.
This is excellent work. Thank you very much.
well, we are leaning heavy on Region 9, so expect that I'll be coming back to you quite often. This is a resource we hadn't been using in the past, and hopefully we'll tap into it better in the future. The next is an update on the HVAC system. As you know, at the April 18th meeting, Parks and Recreation came asking for assistance because the rooftop HVAC units at Sam Michaels had experienced catastrophic failure. With temperatures rising and programming at risk for the summer, they were looking for replacing the HVAC, which came back as somewhere between September or October, they could be able to replace it, or a stopgap measure. And they received a quote to rent HVAC units at $55,000 for the first month alone. Fleets and Facilities stepped in to come up with a creative solution. And what that was to ask the commission for 5-ton units, which are used throughout the commission complex. And so that Parks and Rec could use it while they're waiting for their rooftop units to be built and delivered and installed. And then the county commission can use those 5-ton units elsewhere as they replace outdated units. So the commission approved not only the replacement of the rooftop unit, but they also approved the purchase and installation of those 5-ton units. Last week, those 5-ton units were installed in Sam Michaels, and we were there for the employee benefits fair. It is working fantastically. And I really want to say kudos to both Parks and Fleets and Facilities for finding a creative solution to make it through this long summer and ensure that programming was maintained.
Awesome. That's good news. Thank you. All right,
And that's it for me.
all right. I don't think we have anything else on the agenda tonight.
Point of order, sir. What is 7A?
7A, under which one? We're not discussing anything under 7A tonight, but it says here on the agenda, consider matters involving or affecting the construction and planning and purchase, sale, lease, or property.
That's in violation.
Well-
Need to be more specific.
Thank you.
What is it?
Thank you. Is there any other business that needs to come up for the agenda tonight? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.
And nobody's.